I wanted to start working on the rest of the steering column or steering shaft. That's this part right here. I've got a universal joint supposed to replace this, and then I've got a new rag joint here for the lower end. So we're going to get this completely rebuilt. I'm not going to put this cheap plastic cover back on. I just don't think it looks good. But we'll get that on the car. And then the only thing we got left to back it out is getting the brakes bled. So hopefully by Saturday, today's Friday, so hopefully by tomorrow, Brian's going to come over. We're going to bleed the brakes and drive this thing out of here. Alrighty, I want to show y'all what I am doing here. This joint on the steering column is unnecessarily complicated. I mean, that has got more pieces inside that than a Rubik's Cube does. And it could just very simply be replaced with this, which looks so much better and gives so much more smooth control. Well, I found this. It was a steering column U-joint on Amazon, of course, and got to looking at it, and I thought I could replace this joint with this. Well, I had to do a few modifications. First part is this piece right here. This is, I mean, with a hammer I can drive that into this slot, and I drilled this hole here, and I want to run me a bolt all the way through. I want to get this in first, get it lined up right, and then run the drill bit all the way through, come out the other side, and put me a grade 8 bolt in there. That's still hot. Woo! And that will be taken care of. Now this goes into this slide tube right here. I want to clean it up, get it where it works just perfectly. And this joint here, I got a brand new one of them to put on. What you do with it, you grind off these rivets and use this collar here, and it just bolts on, and you got a brand new rag joint. So I want to lay this here to the side until I get this done. And another thing I had to do, where this joins onto the rest of the steering column right here, you can see that's not the right size. Well, this shaft here is 3/4 inch solid, and I got the one out of the other the parts car El Camino, and I cut this little block off here that is still hotter than a firecracker. And what I'm going to do is we're going to turn around here, put that in right there, tap it down till it's solid. I'm going to put a mark. I want to get a drill bit and drill this because it has got a set screw and a lock. And I want to put that set screw and lock in, but I'm also going to weld up here. I want to make sure that this thing is solid, it is not going to move, and it is a solid piece of architecture. And then this, I think I have to grind it just slightly to get it fit into the part that this slides over. So this is going to go inside. I'll mark me a hole, drill it, and put me a bolt in just like this had on it. So I'm going to change it from this to this, and I think it's going to be much better for it. All right, I want to give a huge shout out to Pete B for sending me the correct tie rod ends. And you notice I had to put 3 washers because this shaft is so long. I want you to look at the difference between those shafts. This one here, I can't get it out of the slot. But yeah, hold it here, maybe. This one right here should be able to fit right in. So what we're going to do, we're going to loosen this and back it off. I want to mark where it is, and I want to do a measurement to make sure I'm getting it correct. That way we can put it back to where it was. This thing has not been aligned yet, so no worries about that. But Pete B, thank you for the correct parts. It's been a long time getting them on, but we're doing it today. Okay, Pete, I got those buggers on here. No more grease zerks on the back side. You can see the grease zert at the end right there. I don't know why they don't make them right under here, make it real easy to get to. But those are a lot more accessible than it would have been. But we got it on both sides and got everything greased up. Hit all the grease zerts on this thing. So it's ready to roll. The only thing I got left now is bleeding the brakes. And I want to do it the old school style, so I got to wait for somebody to show up and help me with that. Got a little problem with the engine. We got a pecking coming out of the valve cover. I'm thinking one of the poly locks has backed off just a little because it's louder, then it's quieter, then it's louder. So what we're going to do, we're going to pull the valve cover and we're going to start it up, get us a dowel rod, put on the tappet, see which one is giving us the problem. Now, I got a loud one on this side, but very quiet one up here on the front on this side. So I was watching a video of Engine Masters, and they showed how they tightened down the poly locks, which we did not do. So what they do, tighten it down, then do a quarter turn preload. We did that. Then we just, held the nut and tightened our poly lock. Well, after he does that, he goes ahead and gives it another quarter turn, tightening them both. So that we did not do. So I'm thinking we're going to have to go through, find what are loose, tighten them down, tighten them the way they said, and then go through and redo all the others. So that's what we're going to attempt to do today. In order to do this, because we're going to have to run the engine with the valve cover off, I got this one. You can tell it's a little crusty. This is out of Randy's old 55 that he bought that had burned. That was a brand new set of Edelbrocks that was in the trunk. And he was going to throw them away. I said, no, let me take them. I'll do something with them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my die grinder. We're going to cut this thing off right here. Then we're going to brush it up, clean it up as best we can, wash it down. Then when we take my valve cover off, we're going to set this one on with the gasket, tighten it down. That way we can run it without getting oil all down the side of the engine. So that's the plan. So I'm going to put you on time lapse and we're going to get this thing cut. All right, Brian showed up. Say hi, Brian. We undid the valve cover. Used my little dill that I made, cut the top off of. Worked beautifully. Just got a few drops of oil on the A-frame. But we did find one lifter a little bit loose. So he tightened it down, made a huge difference. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and run it as is. And after we do the first oil change, we're going to take the covers off. We're going to go through them all and tighten them down again. Make sure all the break-in gets done and everything's right with the world. But right now, as you can see, I got the battery strapped to the frame. I got the hoses away from the tire. Can you guess what that means? We're going to pull it off the lift under its own power for the first time since I drove it in with that 305 under its own power. So, we're going to set you up. Let's see where. I think that looks pretty good right there. You can see both doors. We're going to go out and come in the other side. First time it's driven under its own power. So let's see what it does. Do you want to drive it?
No, go ahead.
You answered that awful quick.
Not my garage doors.
See, I didn't wait for that thing to...
Yep, there you go.
Flooded it a little. It can still use some more.
Still feel weight?
Hey, Brian, move this cart. How much room I got behind me? Oops. Is it spinning both? All right, Brian, we still got oil leaks. We still got water leaks. But by God, it moved. And it felt really good driving around the shop. Yeah. I do need to get the transmission detent cable adjusted before I drive it anymore out around, because that will burn up a transmission if you don't. And it's not like I was going to be shifting gears anyways.
Yeah.
So, but by golly, first time in 2 years, it has driven off of that rack on its own. And now that we got that open, I'm thinking about getting that Jeep in here, Brian, and getting that starter on. That wouldn't be but a quick deal. And if it don't run, we push it back outside and put it for sale. But yeah, just like any new engine, it's going to take a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of tuning. But it's, by golly, this car is all there. And yes, it will spin the tires. And you said it was both of them?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Positive track's working. Whew. All right. And I'm going to spread a little more floor dry where we bled the brakes, and I guess we're going to call this video done. Thank you, Brian.
You're welcome.
I know that made you as giddy as it did me watching that thing pull out, didn't it? But we got to get a frame in here so we can get started on something. When are we going to do that?
We're moving in right now.
I'll get the keys to the tractor.
If we don't, somebody will steal our spot.
That's right. So where are we going to put it? We're going to lay it right up here in front of your toolbox for right now?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. And we can, that table under there is mobile as well, so we can move it. But if y'all don't know, Brian has been accumulating parts and things for as long as I have on this El Camino. And we are going to build him, what year model is that? 32?
1923 T-Bucket.
23 T-Bucket. Of course, you know, there's only going to be very, very few things that are 1923. The driver will be one of them.
It'll be a lot of upgrade custom.
Oh yeah. Well, I want to do probably a better job on yours than I've done on mine. So, you know, doing my own stuff, I tend to cut corners. When I work on somebody else's, I can't do that. So, we're going to end off this video. Thank you all very much for joining me on this. And stay tuned, because I'm going to video the Jeep Commander. We're going to get that in here and see if it's going to run. I've got a Kia Soul that I've got to do some work to. Might as well video it. But I'm going to be trying something new. I'm going to be doing a video. When I come in here and work, if I work 30 minutes, I'll do a video for, you know, what I did. If I work for 5 hours, I'll put all that in a video, do that. We'll see how many days worth I can get, and that way I don't have an hour-long video. It's 30, 40 minutes, and Brian's out here having fun. Look, did you see him? Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Santa's Workshop.